Hi guys, we're back here at Hit Wicket. I'm Naba, this is
Naji?
and today we're going to be doing a preview to the third test with England vs Pakistan at Southampton. So yeah, I think just to start off, this test is in the same place and venue as the last test, and apparently I've heard that in between they've only had 3 days to make another pitch, and the weather during that test is horrible. And I think also in between the weather hasn't been great, and the weather's not supposed to be great for this test too. So my guess is that this pitch is going to be really juicy. I think there's going to be teams getting rolled for like under 100. Batsmen will be opened up. I think it'll be a real battle. If someone gets 100 on this pitch, it'll be a really, really good knock. I think both batting sides will be tested because both bowling sides are very good.
Yeah.
Very A class.
So far, both bowling sides have bowled quite well. Yeah. But the pitches have definitely had something in it. And if it's rained leading up to the test and there's only been like a short turnaround, it's definitely going to be quite juicy.
Yeah. Because I heard Michael Vaughan was saying that I don't think they would have had time to make another pitch, so they'll probably be using the same one. So, and that one was juicy as hell for like the little bit that they played. Azhar Ali's swinging it around. And Muhammad Abbas it's pretty much a minefield when he's bowling there. So yeah, it's not going to be easy, I'm telling you now. I'm pretty sure it's definitely not going to be an easy game for the batsmen. In regards to the sides, well, I'll talk about Pakistan's. I think Pakistan, the only change that I would make is bring Shadab Khan back in for whoever, Asad or Fawad. I would like Asad out, but I think they'll take Fawad Alam out and bring in Shadab. I think he brings a lot of bounce to that side, and I just like having two leg spinners there, to be honest. Yeah, and he's a very good fielder too, on most occasions. So, yeah, and maybe you want to talk about the England side. You reckon any changes?
England side, I don't think they're going to make any changes.
Maybe Jofra.
I'm not too sure. If they bring in Jofra, who would they bring him in for? That's the thing.
Curran, I guess.
Yeah. The Curran bowled alright in the the game last game. It's going to be a tough call. They might keep the same side, I think, but it's hard to say. If anyone's going to come back in, it might be Archer. I don't think they'll go with Wood.
No.
But in all honesty, they might not make any changes at all.
Yeah.
I mean, the batting's going to be the same.
For sure.
Again, there's going to be a lot of pressure probably on Joe Root to score. Hasn't really done too much in their home summer so far.
And he's not going to do anything? No, I'm just joking. No. Yeah.
We'll see, but yeah, look, there's definitely pressure under him because he doesn't have Stokes there, and he hasn't done anything notable as of yet in this series, and also the previous series, and done anything, anything to really write home about. But yeah, the pressure's definitely on him, so we'll have to see if he can score some runs. But aside from that, I think the batting is pretty much set. I think Corley will still stay at 3.
He played a nice knock.
Yeah, no, he looks like not a bad batsman. I think. I don't know what are your thoughts on Crawley. Yeah,
pretty organised. Looks to go after the spinners, and every time he's got an opportunity, he's scored. And yet he got pretty unfairly dropped. To be honest, the first time.
I guess there wasn't too much option to make room for Root, but he does look a nice and organised batsman. And do you know how old he is? I'm pretty sure he's young.
He's on the young side.
So I saw this meme the other day. Something about like, if he was like a club cricketer, he wouldn't even be playing cricket. He'd be like busy with uni or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. So I have to go over it again, but he's obviously on the young side. But yeah, he looks like a pretty organised batsman. It'd be interesting to see how he goes this game, and also it'd be interesting how he goes, overseas when they do go overseas. So it shouldn't be too bad in the game, and I think that the England batting lineup looks pretty settled. And even their bowling lineup, Works has really done a really great job for them.
He'll enjoy him and Broad. I think will enjoy the most playing on this deck because they're both nip bowlers, and this is the deck where I think it will nip around.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, they'll be a big threat, and especially because they both tend to attack the stumps, so it makes it very difficult for the batsmen because they have to play at everything. Obviously Anderson, he's usually always quite good.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten a bag yet this series, but he's still bowled relatively consistently, I would say. Like, he hasn't bowled really badly, but not his best either. So, but interestingly, there hasn't been actually as much swing for him this series.
Yeah.
Probably a bit less. There's been more nip off the deck instead of swing.
Mm.
So yeah, that's something interesting to note. There hasn't, the swing hasn't really been there as much as you'd like. There's been a lot of nip off the surface though.
Yeah.
So different sorts of movement.
Mm.
But yeah, I think the bowling unit is going to be looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I think Pakistan's bowling unit is also looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Having Sharab does give them an extra option of having another wrist spinner, and having wrist spinners, Sharab is obviously a pretty young player that's only gonna get better. So, but he does also add to the. I guess he plays his shots. That's the thing. So yeah, look, he's a good prospect for them, and I guess they're really looking to nurture him into the next Yaza probably, because Yaza's probably in towards the back end of his career now. So Sharab might be the one that takes over from Yaza once Yaza calls time with his career. But it should be an interesting game. But really hope that the weather stays good. But we know how it is in England. It's going to be probably some rain going around, and it's hard to say if we'll even get a result.
There's
be a draw.
There was chat of the ECB starting possibly earlier start times, and I think that would be a good choice if it does seem to rain, because there's no point hanging around later on to play, and then like when you could easily start earlier when the light's there. And like Nasser Hussain was going on about that, and I think it's a pretty valid point. There's no point talking about all these pink balls and doing that, because that's too big of a change to just implement, and it's not going to work in all conditions. So I think starting earlier, that's definitely a good thing to do.
It's a simple solution to a simple problem, really.
Yeah.
Final thoughts? Any gutsy calls before we wrap up this video?
Well, I made Rizwan scored those runs last game.
Oh yeah.
I know a lot of people don't know too much about him, but I like the way he bats, and people started talking about him last game that he batted there. So I think he'll come good, hopefully, with the bat, and with the ball. Yeah, I have to say again, I think Nazim Shah's gonna have a good game. I hope, and I think Muhammad Abbas it's a given. This is a deck. This is a deck made for him.
We have to censor that part of the video.
This is a deck that's made like for his sort of bowling. Like if he could take that deck, he'd take it around wherever he wants to go.
Yeah.
And on the England side, I don't see Joe Root scoring runs. Just have to put that out there. If he does, let him prove me wrong. But yeah, what do you think about England?
I think about England. I think Crawley will probably make some more runs.
Yeah.
I think he's probably pretty confident at the moment. I think again Pope. I think should be. I think Pope will probably also make some sort of contribution as well. I'm not expecting runs really. Root. I think he might get like a 30 odd or something like that. That's what I'm really predicting. But he really has to prove me wrong here and get a big score, because it's really important that he gets some runs under his belt, because he's been struggling of late. Aside from that, I guess I'm not expecting. If it's moving around, it's gonna be pretty hard work for someone like Butler, because he's a real sort of like stroke maker, and it's gonna be hard for him to play shots on that sort of wicket. But we'll see what happens. I think Broad's gonna be a big danger though for Pakistan. Broad and Works. I really wouldn't be surprised if either one of them get like a big bag, because it's probably the conditions probably gonna really suit them. And on Pakistan's side, I think Abbas is a big danger. I think he can really rip through the England top order. And also, I think that Nazim Shah will also be quite dangerous to that top order. And unexpectedly, I actually think that Yazir Shah will also have like a pretty big impact. I'm not too sure about Shaheen. He probably hasn't bowled his best this series yet. He's bowled all right, not the best, not the worst, just sort of in the middle. But he hasn't been as much of a threat from what we've seen so far in this series. But he might prove us wrong, or might prove me wrong, and we'll see. We'll have to see how he goes.
So finally, I think Pakistan will probably. I'm going to say that I think they'll come up and series will be 1-1. And what do you think?
I'll have to go. Look, I think I'll go with Pakistan as well. I think they got some good energy about them, and they've been fighting really hard in this series so far. And look, I hope it is 1-1. It'd be really good to see the series 1-1, and not to see there's a clear winner in the series. But I think I'll also be going for Pakistan as well. and we'll see how they go.
Alright, so hope you enjoyed our preview, and before we leave, we have a Facebook page and Instagram page. The link will be below. And yeah, just please like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell. Until next time.
See you guys later.